Uh, yo. Today we're gonna be doing another AGR video, and today's gonna be for a game I wasn't anticipating to play, but just wanted an objective of story and kind of open worldish, so I can put lots of hours in and invest myself into this world. And obviously, me posting this, it's been a while, so because I was very addicted to even knowing more about everything about this game. And this game I'm talking about is Judgment. I know it says Lost Judgment on here. Well, when I was doing some research, 'cause I've never even played any of these games, or even from Ryu company, the company from Ryu. Uh, this is the second, I guess, the second part of Judgment. Luckily, for me, luckily, I bought this game at GameStop, and it gave me the first game. They didn't give me Lost Judgment; they just gave me Judgment, the one that came out on the PS4. So I was kind of like, when I finished the game, I was like, where's everything I've from these background pictures that I've seen, like all these missions, I don't know anything. And then to come to find out, I'm playing the first one from a two-part series. So I'm kind of happy, because I would have been a little bit more upset if I've played the second one instead of the first one, because then I would have been like, wow, I'm supposed to know these characters, I'm supposed to know everything. And I'm so glad I didn't, because in this game I get invested so much with every single character. It's not just a progression of the main character Yagami, it's a progression of the whole world in Kamurocho, and everybody in this story, and how they all connect. And this game is just spellbinding, where you just want to continuously know everything else and know what's going to happen in the next chapter. And every chapter ender is like such a mind-boggling experience, where you're like, personally for me, where I'm looking, I'm like, no fucking way. Where like you get a piece of of history or lore from this story, and from everything from the beginning of Yagami to the beginning of like the whole Matsune family, of this Yakuza family that Yagami is a part of. And I don't want to spoil too much, because if you are going to play this game, I highly recommend not knowing anything and going blind into this, because the amount of stuff that the story, I guess, like creates, it's something that you don't want to like ruin for yourself if you do want to play this game. But I do have, I guess, like some pros and cons for this game. It will be easier to speak of all the cons than all the pros, because there's so many pros and the cons, because of just like, for starters, from the story. And this story isn't something that you just look at and you want to progressively continue to solve a mystery. But like I said, I don't want to spoil too much, but this mystery falls back all the way to the roots of Yagami's main character's fall from lawyering and his final defensive in court. And with that, Yagami is not just a detective and a lawyer, but someone way more important in the story that you find out at the end. But story aside, it's something that I feel like even as a show it would do great, and even grab people's attention that's away from a gaming, anime, and anything like that. Just because, I mean, personally for me, I just love that law / justice type of stories. Like the closest one I can give to, even if it's like a hero type story or a villain type story, it would probably be like Saul Goodman, which is a pretty good one. But not all of that was good. Also, the combat was amazing, from having two different styles, because obviously it's like gang members in Yakuza, so you have different styles of like Tiger and Crane, where you fight one with a bunch of people to group up on you, or you could fight as a Tiger, I mean not as a Tiger, but as Tiger stance, where you can use strong attacks and vicious punches to like really do some kick damage. And like having this tech tree where you can have different EX meters for finishers, to different movesets, to even dodges or parries. It makes the game even more, I guess, immersive in this combat, where you just want to continue finding new posters and other videotapes in order to gain these new abilities, which makes the game even better. With not only that, but it's like, obviously because it's a fighter and an RPG, you also get like these potions and brewing abilities you can use. And like the best one, where you can just drink and have this liquid courage to like fight even though you're drunk, so you can build up that meter. It's like, you understand this game is gonna be serious and goofy at the same time, but it's gonna be something I'm like eager to play once I come back from work and get straight into the world of Kamurocho and Yagami's story. But the game is not only based on Yagami, but it's also his friends, and also I guess enemies in this world, where Yagami, main story based. You can you explore a Komuracho and to investigate. You investigate what's it called? The main problem, problem in this city, which I'm not gonna talk too much because I don't want to spoil it. But you also have side missions and even side friend quests that you can do, where like you feel kind of connected to what's it called Yagami as a character, where his friendship experience grows in like bubble text type of what's it called communication with other players and with other what's it called NPCs, where you can teach him how to like speak English, or you can help him what's it called become a ninja in this one dude, and various things to in order to like make friendships in this world, or you can eventually use them as help when you're fighting like just street thugs and street gangs and like in the city of Kamurocho. But the experience that you get from these characters, it just makes you feel like you are a Yagami in a sense, because you not only to called have these minute details that make you feel connected to him, but expand on him as well. When I mean that, one, from his friends, you have these what's it called, this simple I guess instrument of like health, where you eat obviously to gain health, and that's like any other game. But the experience of you ordering a thing, sitting down and eating it makes the game feel kind of like fillerish, but it makes you do it. It does make you feel, at least for me, almost like you're connected to Yagami. You are Yagami in a sense, where you understand what meals he should get, not only for the achievements, but like also for like to improve like his health and other things like that. And seeing the different games you can do, arcades, and like the secret mini games you can find from like people gambling and stuff like that, makes you even want to continuously just push yourself into that world of Kamurocho, and not even start the main story for a while. And that's what I did for a little bit. I just kept exploring and finding new things where I'm like, what else is this game gonna give me, from a serious detective law game to like just a goof off a Yakuza freaking like sim thing. From the side missions alone, that's just like something that makes you feel connected to Yagami, at least for me. But not only that, but using also your resources in order to do these these missions in main story and side is something that actually I connected with a lot, because for example, for me, the not only the combat, but the ways you interact with the other players, and I guess verbal combat, where you have to use evidence and dialogue selections in order to continue the stories and choose the right one in order to get the right ending, makes the game so much entertaining to me, where I'm like, this is like a Phoenix Wright mixed with the Yakuza game. So goofy, but so perfect, to the point where like the story and the combat fuse together in a way I haven't played a game like this in so long. And that's why I feel this game is something important to talk to, and anybody that's never played a Ryu, I forgot the company's name, should play. And I feel like Judgment is a good starter one for its story, its combat, and the goofiness that the story gives you, where you feel connected to everybody around it. And also, I do have some memorable, I guess, missions from the story that I feel were goofy and very helpful in order to like feel connected into this world of Kamurocho. And these missions were something I felt very important in order for the story, and like I said, to be connected to Yagami and everything around this world, from his characters to the whole city of Kamurocho. For one, one was like something that straight away from this story, from this game, it's almost like a horror aspect, where Yagami and what's his name, Shirisky, something like that. I don't want to give too much to who he is, but they go into the secret lab to find for an evidence for the story, and it's almost like a horror type of tower, where you have to continuously fight thugs and whatever like mobs that they have, but they're almost like a sense of spookiness, because you have something chasing you and coming to attack you, which is like a Nacho Libre type of wrestler, dude, which is like funny, but at the same time, before you even notice it, it was kind of scary. So I'm like, what the fuck is this game gonna throw at me? And it went from that to like even something so innocent to like a mission where you have to, Yagami gets I forget her name, it's Shirisky, I don't know, it's another someone from the Genda agency, which Yagami used to work for as a attorney, and they use her in order to get information from from for more evidence into the story, and even use her as blackmail later in the story. And like these missions are so like goofy because you have to play dress up with her and make her as pretty as you want. I wish I made a playthrough. I think I am gonna do a playthrough where you can just make her as ugly as you can to see if like they react the same or something. But it's so funny to me because I was like put the picture of the guy sweating. Best part, I mean, for me, like the fun part where you have to use evidence and have communication dialogue in order to get the right choices and make sure you don't fuck up, to get to call the one XP for your character, and then two to get faster outcome for what's it called the ending. And those are just some aspects of the game where you can use other people's you use all your utilities from a drone to like all your friends in order to like find out from the real evidence of the story and everything that comes with it. And it just makes you feel just so much like a detective, you're an agent because you're Yagami, but like a real spy Mission Impossible type of thing where you're like a hero getting the bottom of the truth. And the truth is something that makes me want to play so much, knowing what's going on and the truth. And that gets me to the next what's it called mission I did like, where you're playing in the past as Yagami, and not only as Yagami but as Kaito. Kaito, forgot his name, Yagami's friend. There's so many characters, it's too many, but you feel involved with all of them, and you understand like his past and why he left what's it called the Matsuni family, and Yagami's past and why how his last defense and lawyering like failed, and everything that went wrong with it, to even like the I guess like the startup of Yagami and his introduction to lawyering and his introduction to the Yakuza family. It's so good because it doesn't give you like almost like a mountaintop style story where you just get you're progressing to the story and you're getting everything. You have to kind of come back, understand what we heard before in order to continue in the story. And listening in this game is something that's very important, knowing, especially when in these verbal combats where you have to like show your piece of evidence and what you know about the story. If you pay attention, obviously, you're gonna know how to progress through these dialogues. But if you don't pay attention, you can continuously press X and skip. You're gonna be like, ah shit, what did he say, or like what did I miss from the story? That's why like when I was even though I don't like many like talking like stuff like in video games or like story based, if it's filler, this is a game where I just actually stuck around even on filler parts or stuff for side missions that you could really skip audio for and not listen to. But it was this game I felt very inclined to keep listening and keep knowing every single detail that this game had. But regardless from everything I did like about the game, there is some stuff that I didn't like, but they're so minor that it doesn't affect this grade at all, and probably doesn't even affect it for some people in general if you like these type of or don't mind these type of negatives. For one, obviously I played the first game in the Judgment series, and it's kind of dated, well kind of, because it released on the PS4, so its facial expressions don't show too much, but you really do feel some of these expressions, especially in the ending and when you're in the climax of finishing this game. You kind of see like the little bit of like facial expressions, and you feel connected to these characters where you almost want to tear up for like something that's like a video game and nothing very serious, but you feel these characters' pain and feel like why they've been betrayed and why they're there in that position in the first place. But like I said, it's kind of dated, so like the expressions are kind of like robotic or like minor in a sense where someone's crying and all you can tell is from their eyes just watering and maybe like a frown on their face, and that's probably it. But in that sense, I feel like also jankiness also comes into play, but I don't think jankiness is like a negative in most parts. It might just make it look unrealistic, but who cares? It's a game, like where you have like parts clipping through like objects clipping through clothing and stuff like that. But you're gonna want some jankiness when you want some goofy game like the Yakuza series or like the Judgment series in this part. But those are like, I guess, like the minute details I didn't like, or I guess you can say it's a negative, so I have to put some negatives. But I did not like one thing, which was like this I guess stalking missions where you have to walk behind someone and continuously follow them and hide behind pillars you can obviously see, and have disguises that people obviously know it's you, like unless you're wearing the hobo one, which is actually like the first one. But I just didn't like those because like I'm not a person, I just felt too impatient to keep walking behind someone. There was no action going on, or like the meter for someone spotting you was going so quick. And I know you can get like, you know, improve what's it called, you can improve that in the tech tree to get but like I just feel like it was just kind of boring in a sense. And obviously it's like you're supposed to be like detective and like finding in a mission, being sneaky as a spy, but for me I just didn't feel like that. It was kind of okay-ish and nothing very, I guess, like wowing about it. I feel like the camera and the investigation mode of looking around in first person was way more, I guess, engaging than walking behind someone and chasing them, you know, in a sense, you know, and following them, seeing where they go. I feel like it was kind of pointless. I feel like I could have been a cutscene or something, and something could have happened in between the cutscene and maybe interaction with a fight, something like, you know, like the ending part, which I won't get to because I don't want to spoil. But yeah, just like that. And that was just like, oh, I'm lying, there's also another one. It's if you don't like too much, there's too much like combat in this game. We're not like, it's a lot of combat where like, come on, how you gonna be like disappointed in fighting and like, you know, interacting with the game and seeing how you can experience more, what's it called, ways to fight. But I feel like just going from point A to point B just to do a story mission or a side quest, the amount of thugs and like street gangs are all out there. Like there's like, I'm going through one street, fight someone, I'm like, you know, at the beginning stage when I'm playing this game, and I'm like super bad at this game, and you know, I'm fighting, so I want to like experience some more of like the combat and learn how to get better. But it's annoying when you have to continuously go to one street, fight, go to another street, fight. And even if you want to run and just go to the mission, one guy follows you to the end of the fucking earth just to chase you down, and you can't even continue with the story because it still has your fighting sequence in, like, you're in combat, so you can't do anything else, which is annoying. It's annoying in that sense, where like you're trying to, like, you know, do a story or like not fight, you're just trying to do this mission, and you don't want to be fighting like 10 gangs at like 20 plus gangs, and just from going from point A to point B. That's a little bit annoying. But other than that, I feel like everything overwhelms that to the point where like you can dispute that in your head and not even think about it while you're playing this game. So with that, I feel like Judgment is not only something I recommend, but highly recommend to anybody who has the opportunity to play this game or has a somebody to like lend it to them. Pirate it if you want, you know, but I think you should play this game if you haven't played none of the Yakuza games, like the Dragon, Ishin, all of them, because this is something I enjoyed personally for its Phoenix Wright combat and everything. And with that, I give it a 10 out of 10.